Hi guys, in the previous tutorial we looked at how to use select. What exactly is select in SQL? And we were able to use select to display some data, both numbers and string. So we were able to print some data on the output window. Okay, so in this tutorial, we are going to use the same select to retrieve data from a table. What we did previously was to use select to write select statement to return to output to display some data, but those data didn't come from any table. So our focus is going to be retrieving data from a table because as a data analyst, when you get a job, of course you're going to be analyzing data from a table. You are going to have access to one or two or more tables. That's how it is in real work environment, in an enterprise environment. You're going to have access to some tables and you'll be analyzing the data in those tables. Okay, so the the table we are going to be analyzing data from, I'm going to show you. In this server, I have like 9 tables. If you are just joining us, I've been uploading videos before now. Please try and look for the previous videos. So we're going to be spending our time on most of our time on this table, employees table. So there is data inside this table. How do we see the data? How do we retrieve the data in this table? That's what we want to do today. Okay, so to open the editor. Okay, so this is the editor. Now, in order to see the data we have in that employees table, our table is employees, right? We want to see the data in this employees table. So we are going to use select keyword. But this time around, I want to select from this table. I want to see all the data in this table. So can I say select all from, because I want to see. So the new keyword you are learning today is from. You have learned select in the previous tutorial. So in this tutorial, this is the second keyword you are going to see, which is from. That is, I want to select data from a table. You will always be selecting from a table. So the name of the table we are selecting from is employees. So in essence, if you want to retrieve data from a table, it's going to be select data from table name. Okay, so I want to select data. You put the data you want to select here. You put this keyword from and the name of your table. That's how to do it. So you select data from, put the table name. So this time I want to see all the data in this employees table. So can I write it like this and say select all? Let me make this bigger. So can I do something like this? Select all from employees and run. So select all from employees. All what? This is not what we want to see. Okay. So the keyword to use when you want to see all the data from a particular table is not this. This is the keyword to use. Select star, select asterisk from employees. So the moment you put this, SQL already understands what you are trying to say. I can highlight this and run, and boom, see all the data we have in employees table. So we have, if I scroll down, we have 1,000 records. So we have 1,000 employees. You have 1,000 employees in this table. Okay, so the two keywords now be select. Select means print, show me, or display. So display what? You mention what you want to display. Display all, which is this. You use this for all. We want to see everything in a table. So select all from where? From a table. You mention the name of your table. And the name of our table is employees. So if I do this, it's going to show me all the data. As you can see, this is showing all the data that we have. Okay, that's one thing to do. What are the other things you can do? Are you going to be selecting all the time? What else can you do with this? Now, before we move to the next thing you can do, let me emphasize here that learning SQL requires practice, and you can actually use any platform. You can use any RDBMS to learn how to write SQL. Like right now, we are using PostgreSQL. You can use Microsoft SQL Server. You can use Oracle Developer. You can use Netiza. You can use DB2. You can use Teradata, and so many of them. But the principle is the same. If you know how to write SQL on this platform, PostgreSQL, when you have an opportunity to write on another platform, you'll be able to write it. The syntax is a little bit different, but 85, 90% will be the same across all platforms. So if you understand the principle, SQL is not to be crammed. Okay, just understand the principle and apply it. So using this platform to learn will also help you to use other platform as well. It's the same principle. Okay, so now that I'm selecting all from this table, let me quickly prove that to you. I also have, this is another RDBMS. This is Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, let's see if I have different, let's select from this one. So I have this, inside there I have table 2. Okay, I have different tables here. This, these are the tables that I have. See, I have different tables. This is the typical um, employee table as well. And I have all this. So let's say I want to see all the data in this table. Okay, if I want to see all the data. And we know that select is the keyword and star is all. If we want to see all. And from is to indicate from which table. So select star from. I want it, I can drag this. So select star from, I can type it out, I can drag it. So if I want to select all from this table and I click on run, you see it's displaying everything that we have in this table. How many records we have? 290 rows. So it's the same thing. The difference is just little. So you can use any platform to learn um, SQL. This is just to show you what we have. Okay. Now let's go back to this. What else can I do if I don't want to see all? Is it possible to see whatever I want? Of course, it's possible. Okay. Now let's look at what if I want to see just 2 columns. Maybe I only want to see employee ID and first name. That's also possible. So we can do something like this. You can use select. You can select column 1, You can select column 2. You can select column 3. I showed us in the previous video that comma is what you use to indicate the end of first column, the end of second column, the end of a column, so to speak. So this is what they are trying to do. That okay, I only want to see, I don't want to see her because this will show me her. That's not what I want to see. What if I want to see just two columns, the first two columns? So all I need to do is to replace it with my column name. So select employee ID. Employee ID from where? From employees, because employee ID is inside employees table. Okay, so select employee ID from employees. Let's run this and see what we have. This is only giving me all the employee ID, just one column. Let me select all so that we see everything again. That's select star from employees. These are all the columns we have. What if I want to see second column as well? So I want to see employee ID, and second column is first name. So select employee ID, first name from employees. Let's highlight this and run. I have two. So like I said, is garbage in, garbage out. Is whatever you want to see as long as your syntax is correct. So select star is we are looking at all. What if I want to see last name and email? I can also put comma and say last name, email from employees. So let's run this. So you get what you want to see. Whatever you put here is what is going to display here. Okay, so you can select all, you can select specific columns. These are columns vertically, and these are rows or record horizontally. So here we have, in this output, we have 4 columns, but how many records do we have, or how many rows? We have 1000 rows or 1000 records. That is, we have records for 1000 employees. Don't forget that employees table is an HR table. Okay, so here we have employees. We are going to be analyzing employees data. That's our focus. Okay, so in this tutorial, we've been able to see that we can use select to display what we want, and if we want to display or return data from a particular table, we need to add from. And we can see all the data in a particular table by saying select star from table or select star from employees. But if you don't want to see all the columns, we can specifically mention the names of the columns we want to see. And that's the example we have here. So we have put different columns that we want to see. One thing I also want us to quickly look at is this keyword is not case sensitive. So if I change this to maybe T and write it, and as long as the spelling is correct, let's see what we have. You see, it doesn't matter. Even if I change this to all small, all lowercase, say select star, and maybe change this to small, lowercase, and do this, it's still going to work fine. So it's not case sensitive. And what if I change this table name to employees lowercase? It's still going to run. Okay, so it's not case sensitive. It doesn't matter how you write it, but of course it doesn't look good if you write it like this. So as a matter of personal preference, I like to use uppercase for my keyword. Like this, I like to use, and that's what most people do. You like to do the, it looks better writing it this way. And I can keep my table name at lowercase. I can keep all these column names, but I like to use uppercase for the keywords. So it looks pretty like this. So select star from employees, and that's what is giving us this. So where you can make, if you make mistake in the spelling, let's say I remove this S. Let me run again. Now it's saying, please pay attention, always pay attention to this output window as well. It's going to tell you what is wrong. So it says relation employee does not exist because it doesn't know this table. This table does not exist. So you need to be careful. Don't make mistake in this. Of course, you might be making mistake while typing. That happens all the time. Okay, but you understand the principle. Even when you make mistake, you can always see and correct yourself. So you can make mistake, but my point is that you should understand the principle that it's not going to run if there is a spelling mistake anyway. That's my point. You can make the mistake, but understand when you make it, how to fix it, so you know where the problem is coming from. So you can't misspell the name of the table. Once you misspell it, it can't find it. So it's going to give you error. Okay. And another thing that I want you to pay attention to is the keywords are not case sensitive, like the select and the from. And the column names are also not case sensitive, but the data in them are case sensitive. So we are going to look at that in the next class. But the takeaway from this class is that if I want to display or retrieve data from a table, I need to use select and from and mention the name of the table. If I want to see everything from a table, I use this um, wildcard. And if I want to see a particular column or field, this can either be column or field. For those of you that already know what I'm saying, this tutorial is actually meant for people who do not know. I'm assuming that you don't know anything. And that's why I'm trying to say this is column and this is row. I'm assuming those who are watching this right now don't know anything, and if you already know, just follow along with me, okay? Or maybe this particular one is not meant for you. You can wait for other tutorials that I'm going to be uploading, because the way I designed this is to start from the very basic level, and we build on our knowledge like that as we go until we get to some more intermediate and probably some advanced topics in SQL. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.